Hello, this is Catherine from Accelerated Reader. Today I will be reading Two Worlds, a novel of friends and foes from strange places, written by Laura T. Lee. Before I begin reading, I would like to give a big thanks to author Laura T. Lee for allowing me to read this book on my channel. In the description below, I have included links where you can find more books written by Laura T. Lee, as well as where you can buy this book. Every Wednesday, I will be uploading a new chapter. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Dedication. This book is dedicated to my family and my grandparents who supported me in the production of this book. Lily Claire was just your typical high school sophomore trying not to fall asleep during her classes until the elves showed up. Without warning, Lily is kidnapped right out of her classroom and taken to the elfin world, an Earth-like planet with a mix of advanced technology and strange creatures. There, she discovers that there are far worse problems than missed homework, such as hostile dwarves, fire-breathing dragons, and a feud between sorceress sisters that went way too far. And of course, she has to fight them all. When a small mistake leads to full-blown war between the elves and the dwarves, Lily has no choice but to join in. In this action-packed escapade, she takes bold risks, makes new friends, and tries her best to stay alive. Just a regular day for a regular teenager, right? Inventory of characters. Lily Claire, human teenager who is taken to the elfin world. Jake Iender, war general, works in the elfin central tower. Tara Awa, battle officer, soldier, also works in the elfin central tower. Stacy Dana, manager of the elfin control center. Oneida Iender, Jake's younger sister, a war medic. Parker Iender, Jake's older brother, a battle officer, soldier. Teresa Fauvet, elf sorceress, imprisoned in a locked palace for 50 years. Sophie Fauvet, elf sorceress, locked her sister Teresa in a prison for 50 years, leads invasion on Earth against Lily and her friends. Part 1. The Elfin World. Chapter 1. Ding! The lunch bell rang, and 15-year-old Lily Claire headed back to her classroom. She grabbed her iPad from her backpack before walking to her desk. As Lily sat down in her seat, her teacher, Miss Anne, tapped her ruler on the whiteboard. "Okay, class," she said. "Log on to your iPad and we'll begin our lesson." Lily turned on her tablet and typed in her password, Schoolgirl72. The password bar turned red. Access denied was placed over it. Access denied? She'd been using that password for 1.5 years. Her iPad never did that. More words formed next to the password bar. iPad blocked. What was going on? Miss Anne? Lily called. Her teacher appeared not to have heard. In fact, none of Lily's class seemed to be moving. Hands hovered over tablets. Someone who decided to jump into their seat was frozen in midair, his feet half a foot from the ground. Only Lily could move properly. But wait! More words had appeared on her iPad. Override password initiated, it read. Lily blinked. Huh? The tablet screen turned neon gray and the light wrapped Lily in a cocoon of energy. What's going on? She muttered as the gray light around her suddenly turned blindly bright. Lily was knocked unconscious. 2 seconds later, Lily closed her eyes. A young woman entered the room. A taller cloaked man around the same age followed closely behind. Both had pointed ears. "Are you sure she is the right one?" the man asked. The lady turned to face him. "Jake, she must be the right one. Otherwise, we wouldn't have spent 2 years searching, would we?" The woman briskly snapped her fingers, and Lily vanished in a flash of more intense neon gray light. Around the man and woman, teenagers began to move in slow motion, gradually returning to normal. "Tara, we should go," Jake said. "The time freeze is wearing off." Tara and Jake quickly exited the classroom. Lily woke up on a slab of cold hard stone and groaned. She opened her eyes and... Wait a second. This was definitely not her school. Blinding white walls surrounded her. Lily was alone. Hello?" she called. "Hello!" a high-pitched voice answered. A hidden door opened to reveal a small child, no more than 5 years old. She had an adorable face, with short auburn hair curling around the sides of her head. "Follow me," she said. Lily got up and followed the girl out of the room. The little girl led Lily down a long hallway to a stone door. "In here," she said. The child rippled into a group of rapidly vanishing pixels. A hologram? Lily blinked in confusion. "Hello?" Her voice echoed down the empty corridor. Perplexed, she pushed open the stone door. She entered a cavernous room with colossal windows. The one piece of furniture inside was a small table with a variety of weapons, swords, blasters, and buttons, covering it. Lily reached out to touch a pink button. A voice behind her said, "Careful." Lily turned and spotted the tall, cloaked figure of a man. He made no attempt to move. "I wouldn't touch those buttons if I were you. They're smart bombs activated by touch. You would go boom," he explained. Lily winced. "Who are you?" she asked. "I am Jake," he said. "You must be Lily." Lily snapped back to her senses. "Where am I?" she demanded. Are you aliens?" "Yeah, whatever. That was a stupid question." Jake sniffed indignantly. "I am not an alien," he said. "We are part of a planet similar to Earth, and we don't have any differences to humans except for our pointed ears. So if you wouldn't terribly mind, call us elves." He sounded like a college professor, just without the English accent. Technically, elves were still aliens, but Lily decided not to mention that. Jake smiled. "Our kind is the most intelligent version of humans. But, if you please, I do not wish to be called an alien ever again." He said the word alien as though it were a slimy rat, wrinkling his nose in disgust. The expression froze on Jake's face. For a while, Lily stared at Jake. The elf, what else could she call him, finally seemed to notice that Lily was looking at him like he was a mad man. Embarrassed, he cleared his throat, coughed, and shifted his facial features to a friendly smile. Let's start with a tour," he said. Turns out an elf tour meant going to the POOP. The first time Jake had mentioned the acronym, Lily had considered him an exceedingly rude person. As her mother would say, then Jake said, POOP, poop, means the post office for oversized packages, not including dwarves. Long story. Did you know that our people made a peace treaty with the dwarves thousands of years ago? Anyway, this service includes transportation of weapons, ships, airplanes, and of course, the occasional prisoner. No food or drinks are allowed. Also, packages are... Watch out! He said that last part because Lily nearly stepped on a puddle of intergalactic slime, as Jake proclaimed. Hazardous material, he explained. Ugh, Lily thought with a shudder. The two finally arrived at a poop station. A deserted booth with a button on top stood in front of a cube-shaped elevator. Where is everyone? Lily asked. They were evacuated to the main city because they thought you were a fighter, Jake said. Not that you are, he added. What's a fighter? Somebody who brings doom to all elfin people by fighting and other kinds of violence, Jake said, as though it were obvious. Are you actually an alien elf? Lily asked. Jake gave her an irritated look like, well, duh. He reached out and tapped the button. A hidden door slid open on the elevator box. Jake promptly shoved a confused Lily into the container before jumping in himself. The door slammed shut. Nothing happened. After 5 minutes of total silence, Lily was just about to ask Jake if the elevator had broken down when the door in front of them opened. The two climbed out to a nearly pitch-black area. Where are we exactly? Lily asked. Her voice echoed eerily off what seemed to be walls. Next to Lily, Jake shifted uncomfortably. Darn it, must be nighttime, he muttered. Suddenly, someone grabbed Lily and stabbed a needle into her arm. Nearby, she heard Jake fall to the ground with a yell of surprise. Out for the count. I hate getting knocked out, Lily thought as she slumped to the floor. Hello? Lily's eyes groggily opened to find a lady alien. Oh, dang it, elf, looking at her. She had auburn hair, like that little girl who first met her, that tumbled down her shoulders. Lily was lying down on another slab, only this time it had comfy cushions. Lily tried to say something. Goo. Whoops. Apparently, her voice wasn't working. The woman frowned. She said. The sleeping potion hasn't worn off yet. But just so you know, when your voice comes back, you may call me Tara. Lily tried to talk again. I can talk now. Tara smiled. Excellent, she said. Welcome to the special infirmary. Do you have any questions? In fact, Lily had a million things to ask Tara, like, why am I not totally freaking out right now? But one question stood out from the rest. I am starving. Do you have any food in this place? Thank you for listening. Stay tuned next week for Chapter 2. Don't forget to like and subscribe.